Welcome back. This is Charles with Find the Line Productions here with another disc golf course preview. Today we're here at Dorthea Dix Park overlooking downtown Raleigh at Dorthea Dix West. It's a temporary 9-hole course with mostly par 4s and one par 5. Let's get into it. Hole 1 is a 625-foot par 4 that's going to take you 2 shots to get there. For your first shot, ideally you want to get over the road, but you really just want to get as much distance as you possibly can to get close to the tree line but not right up on it. As you get closer, there's really not a bad place to be unless you're directly behind a tree. So really the only concern on this hole is distance, and then once you get closer to the trees, finding a lane through and getting to the basket. Hole 2 is a 639-foot par 4 that plays a lot like the first hole. For the first shot, you want to aim for these picnic tables, but really you just want to get as much distance as you possibly can. Once you get closer, you'll notice that there's a couple lines to get to the basket through these trees. The easiest way is to probably split both pairs of trees, but if you're off to the right, you'll also have a fairly open shot to get up there. Hole 3 is a 658-foot par 4 without any trees to really speak of. If you have the arm, you can easily get there in 2 shots, but if you don't, you might want to aim a little bit more to the right because there's a hill, as you'll see coming up, and if you're off to the right, you can avoid the hill and just not have to deal with the elevation. But otherwise, it should take you 2, maybe 3 shots to get up there, and there won't be anything in the way for your putt. Hole 4 is a 579-foot par 4 and probably one of my favorite holes on the course. The first shot is wide open and you can really throw it wherever you want, but I would suggest going a little bit more to the left because as you'll see, you'll have to cross the road between 2 trees with a low ceiling with the basket a little bit to the right. And if you're off to the right, you'll have a sawed-off shot with a low ceiling, which makes a hyzer play not impossible, but just a lot more difficult. So if you have the opportunity, be to the left, and then you'll have a great open look straight at the basket, and you should be able to get an easy birdie. Hole 5 is a 561-foot par 4 that's uphill the whole way. You can really either go right or left on this hole, but I would suggest going right. It opens up a lot more and it will make an upshot a lot easier. The hardest thing about this hole is that it's uphill the whole way. The distance isn't really that daunting, but with uneven footing as you try an uphill run up, it might be harder to get your full power on the disc to get it up there in 2 shots. Hole 6 is a 1,029-foot par 5, and it's a hole that really makes me excited about the prospect of a permanent course at Dorthea Dix Park. It plays a lot like a ball golf course, where it's just an open fairway with a few trees and then a green on top of a hill. Your first shot, you really want to get past this little ditch on the right and between these trees that the drone is just about to fly through. And then you have a second shot that you can either play the kind of intended route of going just down this fairway and then curving as it goes, or you can try and place it a little bit off to the left and set yourself up for a shot over the road that kind of cuts off a little bit of the distance. Either way, as you get up here on your third shot, you just want to get as close to the basket as you possibly can. But as the basket's on a little bit of a plateau, it's kind of hard to judge your distance from that far away. Hole 7 is a 623-foot par 4, and it's probably one of the easier holes on the course. This nice little road gives you one of the best tee pads that you have, and off of it you really just want to throw something that goes in the middle of the fairway so that you don't have to fight through the trees. If you end up to the right, there's a lot of low ceiling trees in your way. That's going to make it hard to get to the basket too. But if you're in the middle of the fairway, the hole's not super long, it has a slight downhill, and you should be able to get to the basket in two and have a reasonable putt for birdie. Hole 8 is a 542-foot par 4 that, like hole 5, has a lot of ways you can get to the basket, but I would again suggest going to the right. It just opens up a lot more, and you have a lot more lanes to choose from to get up to the basket. And as long as you're not right behind a tree, you should be fine. With this hole being completely downhill and one of the shorter holes on the course, you can usually saw off a good amount of distance on the drive, which would leave you a good maybe 150, 200 feet to pitch up and get up to the basket and hopefully get a birdie. Hole 9 is a 571-foot par 4 that really makes you question how valuable your footing is to you. The two plays are to throw it on top of this hill, where you might have some uneven footing, but if that doesn't bother you, it's probably a straighter path to the basket, or you can throw it out into the field a little bit and have some flatter footing. Either way, as you get up to the basket, it's on a hill, so you really want to stick something close up there and not give yourself a chance to have any rollaways. Right now this course is only going to be open till March, but I'd love to see it permanently. It's so much fun. But as always, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more from the channel, subscribe, and keep slinging those discs.